Well, here we are at Mosaic Place. And of course, we're going to do a lot of shows in the next little while from Mosaic Place because this is a hub of activity. And we've got Larry Graham, the chairman of the Moose Jaw District Sports Hall of Fame, with their 5th inductions program and series and inductees.
5th annual induction. Yeah, it's you know, the first year felt really good. You know what? The 5th year sounds just as good. It's another milestone for us, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the inductees at a ceremony recently about announcing who the 5 inductees will be this year, and it was interesting because 3 of the 5 inductees are black and white photos. That's the age of the thing.
Yeah, we're reaching back a little bit, but that's good. You know, we've got some folks. Well, all of our inductees, longtime members of the sports community, and really giving back to the community.
Yeah.
So.
And sometimes they get forgotten by the younger generation, ones who blazed the trail for Moose Jaw and are certainly worthy of recognition for the achievements that they had as members of the Moose Jaw community.
Yeah, you bet. I think the committee and the folks in Moose Jaw that have nominated, I think we've been very fortunate that we've got, I think the count now is something like 12 or 13 different sports. We've got a new sport this year that we previously hadn't inducted anybody in powerlifting, and also multi-generational. So folks from this era and folks from multiple eras that have been inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame. So that's pretty positive.
Yeah. And of course the ceremony is announcing the fact that on October the 19th. Saturday, October 19th this year, right again at Mosaic Place, wonderful partner for us, gave us a home for the hall and have hosted our Hall of Fame ceremony every year. And just to let folks know, if they want to come, and I hope they do, tickets are the low price of $50 each. You have a wonderful evening out, a very nice meal. Tickets are available at the Mosaic Place box office in person, or online, or by phone. And you can get that information from the Mosaic Place website. Okay. Now you talk about the things that are happening here. And of course, it's about 200 people each year get celebrated, or come to celebrate with the other people, the successes. So I guess, Larry, let's start talking about these people.
Let's start talking about these people.
Okay,
so,
people say, they're not in there yet, you know, just
They're not in there yet, and just to let people know, our induction class for this year in the builder category for powerlifting is Wayne Cormier. Wayne is also still competing as a powerlifting athlete as well. We have Terry Mcgreery, the 1980 Senior Men's Curling Championship, inducting it as a team. We have many folks will know this name, Larry Tallowson, inducted as an athlete for baseball. Roy Thiessen, a longtime educator and builder here in the city, multiple sports, but most notably curling. And of course, William, and all of us know him as Bill Johnson, a builder in hockey and very involved in hockey over the years, and also very involved in baseball. So some wonderful folks again this year.
I was reading their bios, and they're just like, wow. You just go, wow, continually, because these guys have the great success. Terry Mcgreery, but then you see his teammates, like there's Don Despins and Don Berglund, and
it was gonna have to go back to my
cheat notes.
Cheat note a little bit here, but Terry's team in 1980 was Terry Mcgreery, Claire Ramsey, Don Berglund, and Hillis Thompson. And they competed in the Canadian Senior National Championships in St. John, New Brunswick. So, and back in those days, it was a 12-team round robin. So, they played a lot of games in a really short time to take the title. So,
and of course, they're in the local curling community. They're quite well known, and you know, people would say, "Oh yeah, I remember those guys," but you don't realize the success that they had and the challenges that they had to meet.
Yeah, I think it's really nice that we recognize folks that maybe have not forgotten, but maybe dropped off people's consciousness a little bit. That they can reminisce and get together and say, I know those guys. I got coached by one of those guys, or my dad was friends with those guys, or I remember seeing their picture up on the wall at the curling rink. It just brings it back to life and hopefully generates more interest in the sport again and in the hall. Yeah,
and of course, the hall has got quite a collection of people on there now. It's growing, and we like to see that. Other things like Larry Tallowson, like you and I
both have personal connections with him because we both attend.
Yeah.
I taught at Peacock, and so did Larry, and you attended school there.
Yeah, I think Larry's a one-of-a-kind person. You don't have to talk to very many people that don't have a Larry Tallowson story about either his time as an educator and a coach in Moose Jaw, or his time playing hockey in Moose Jaw, and a lot of time playing baseball in Moose Jaw. Top league catcher, top league batter. I think he won. I don't have the figure in front of me, but he won the top catcher in the league multiple times. And Larry was also inducted into the Saskatchewan Baseball Hall of Fame. And I think the Regals team, he was inducted also as a member of the Regals team of that era as well. But a lot of time and a lot of baseball players, a lot of high school athletes in Moose Jaw have Larry to thank for the experiences they got in sport and the support that carried through the rest of their lives. And I think we saw one of the most notables of that we inducted a couple of years ago here, Brian Towers. Played for Larry in the local high school system and went on to a very successful career coaching the U of S Huskies. And that's just one of many, I think, that Larry touched over the course of his career.
Oh yeah, there's stories.
There's stories, yeah.
Which is nice that they can share them. And Bill Johnson is the kind of guy. He's under the radar, but man, when you read the things he has done and he did in his life.
Yeah, Bill Johnson actually was part of at the very early stages of formation of the Hall of Fame. Bill and some of his friends and the current group here got together a little bit and was part of the very early beginnings of the Sports Hall of Fame here in Moose Jaw. I had a personal connection with Bill when I was on the local minor hockey board. He was commissioner of the league. But some of the other things, he was involved in merging of hockey leagues and merging of baseball leagues. And anybody that's ever been kind of an administrator and involved in sports knows what a difficult thing that is and how much, and those leagues are still in operation today. Yeah. I was saying earlier that he was involved, him and some folks were part of the original founders of the Saskatchewan Junior B League that was kind of a gap in the places for folks to play that maybe couldn't play Junior A, maybe were too old to play in midget. But Junior B has given all those kids a chance and a place to play since that league was formed.
And a lot of communities the opportunity to have a team.
Yeah. Oh, you bet. Yeah.
And especially like a Assiniboia, I think of right away.
Yeah. Not to mention, I think Bill was a long time official. And I think if you come to the sports hall and read about it on the wall, he was Japan hired Bill to come over there and help promote and mentor their local hockey officials. So he had he refereed, I think, 30 games in 90 days, which is just an incredible feat. So there's probably a legacy of Bill's over with the hockey officiating over in Japan as well. So his effect was far-reaching.
Yeah, I know. Other ones, we talk about Cormier, Wayne Cormier, again, still a competitive athlete, but did so much to support and build and create the weightlifting organization in Canada, not just Saskatchewan.
Yeah, he was a member of national bodies, but locally here in Moose Jaw, he started the YMCA Powerlifting Club. A couple of years after that, he started the Special Olympics Powerlifting Club, was involved in both those for many, many years. You don't have to go too far back in memory, Rhea Fowler of young gal, has been in the news quite a bit over the years, started, I think, in Wayne's Powerlifting Club and was supported there. And there's tons of athletes, the Special Olympics and the powerlifters from Moose Jaw. I think Wayne was the genesis for all of that. And they all have kind of him to thank for bringing powerlifting into the forefront and having people know more about it and get involved in sport. I can picture in my head the photos of Wayne and the Special Olympic folks and big smiles on everybody's faces and just out there enjoying the sport and getting involved. Yeah.
And the last one
is Roy Thiessen.
And Roy, of course, curling. We've had some other curlers before, but this is like a builder kind of.
Roy Thiessen. Roy was a longtime educator in Moose Jaw. administrator in the public school system. And I think, just reading his bio a little bit, I think they probably didn't mention all the things he did in sport while he was an educator here, because I think those folks that taught physical education in those days would, you need a coach to do that? Okay, I'll do that. You need a coach to do that? Okay, I'll do that. But he's most notable for curling, coached a number of athletes leading up to, that went on to play in national events, provincial national events. Roy sat on numerous curling administration boards, kind of growing the sport, and also wrote 4 books on curling. You know, so even the people he didn't touch, if they pick up that book, it's another gem they can get out of somebody right here from our hometown.
Yeah, that's great. Now, the ceremony takes place on October the 19th in the evening. Tickets are now on sale at the
Mosaic Place box office. Tickets available for the low price of $50.
Which is a great deal, because you get the dinner and you get to celebrate with the people, and you get socializing.
It's a great deal. I especially enjoy being at the event when folks can look across the room and say, hey, you know, I think I know that guy. And it was someone that they played, that they curled with 20 years ago that they haven't seen. I've had folks say that, and you get to learn a little bit more insight into some of these folks that are up on the wall. We recognize, of course, any of our previous inductees that are at the event, and we've had more and more coming back each year. Really well supported by the sports community in Moose Jaw. It's just a really nice night. Yeah. Just a really nice night.
If you want to see the pictures and the stories about the athletes being inducted this year, come here to Mosaic Place, and up on the landing between the ground floor and the hockey rink. Take a moment or two just to relive some of those memories, and hope that you're able to join us on the 19th to celebrate the successes of this year's class.
That'd be super. That'd be super. The more people we can get to look at this and give people its due, it's a wonderful display and a wonderful event. So thanks very much, Lyle. Appreciate it.
Thanks, and good luck with the induction ceremonies. And so that wraps up here at Mosaic Place for this thing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon on Moose Jaw this week.